Okay. Hope you can see my screen. My name is Tanush. I'm having 12 years experience into success factors. I work for different countries, different companies so far. I'm into recruitment, onboarding 1.2, and LMS as well. So I have implemented multi-country implementation for all the three modules. I have done support for multi-countries at the same time. So I'm into success factors from last 12 years and most of the MNC companies I've worked for, and any critical projects or any critical timelines I'm currently working. So I'm a lead consultant in an organization currently supporting all the three modules for the critical management and release management, along with the management of people in the organization. So this session is basically we will cover all the things related to the recruiter experience. Earlier it was called as recruitment management, but later it was named as recruiter experience. So if we look at the success factors modules, recruiter experience is one of them, which comes under recruiting, and then it is connected with onboarding, employee central, it's connected with learning, it's connected with performance. So all the modules comes under success factors HCM suite. And so this is the area we will focus mainly on our demo session, all the training sessions. So recruiting, where the agenda of that module is that to hire a right candidate into the organization, and all the things, all the activities that we perform during the recruitment process, including gathering the requirement, taking the approvals, finalizing the budgets, then starting with the sourcing, like it can be from internal, it can be from external, it can be from referral, it can be from job boards, it can be from third party agencies. We have options to connect our system with different things. So once the candidate reaches our application tracking system, we call it as ATS, then we can move the candidate into different areas based on our organization's requirement. Like some people will have assessment, some people will have background check, some people will have post assessment as well, and then employment checks, then offer. Once the candidate accepts the offer, it can be a virtual offer or an online offer or an e-signature embedded offer, and then sending our information of the candidate to onboarding. So basically, recruitment is a middle piece between Employee Central and onboarding, where we gather the data from Employee Central and then process the data in recruitment, send it to onboarding module. In onboarding module, it can be a 1.0 or 2.0. The 2.0 is the latest version of the onboarding. 1.0 is the old version. So in onboarding, they usually collect the documents from the organization, from the candidate. They collect the documents from the hiring manager, like some signatures. If it is a US, we have a lot of process of I-9, e-verification, or all these things. Then once onboarding is complete, we send the candidate back to Employee Central as employee. So that's the reason recruitment is also a critical module. And other thing is that it can be a standalone implementation for recruiting, and we can also use in connection with Employee Central or onboarding. So there is no prerequisite or a limitation saying that recruitment, to implement the recruitment module we need an Employee Central. No, only recruitment also we can configure for success factors. So I'll pause a bit here so that I can understand you are from which background, or you are aware of the success factors and SAP product, or what kind of knowledge you currently have in the SAP systems. So if you can explain yourself a brief, that will be helpful for me to focus mainly on what kind of areas I need to look at. Yes, Imran, I see your hand has been raised.
Yeah, sorry for interruption. So my
Mhm.
first question is like, you talk about the assessment. So we also have a SHL, right? Where we it goes and put some kind of scorings,
Yes,
SHL integrations.
essential. Yes.
Yeah. So is it only SHL or it can be any third party as well
It,
for
it
some kind
can
of
be any
assessment?
third party, any third
And
party based out of any country. We can
okay,
configure in
and
SuccessFactors.
configure. Okay, sorry, you can go ahead.
Imran, as you are on already
Yeah,
talking, can you
yeah. Okay,
explain what your
okay.
interest on
Yeah, so
SuccessFactors?
yeah, yeah, quick thing about me. So I have some 23 years of experience in payroll, mostly in the payroll of UK and Ireland. And I do work on RCM and onboarding some bits and pieces, but I never have a hands-on experience on how it works. So I have never practiced theory-wise. I know, about certifications. Yes, I have done it, but when it comes to the on-hand practice, I'm zero.
Okay, okay, thank you. Neha, you want to go next?
Hi Tanush, hi everyone. This is Neha Ajmerkar. I'm currently working as an HR. I have lately completed my training on EC, but I don't have any experience on any of the modules as such. So that's all about me.
Okay, thank you. This one?
Thank you.
Hello, hi Tanuj. Hello everyone. My name is Rizwan, and I do have 14 years of IT experience, out of which uh, uh, SAP HCM. I do have experience in SAP HCM, and currently I did couple of projects in integration side, but I found my interest to go with success factor and recruitment and success factor. But I know the EC. I did a couple of projects for EC, and then I love to be learn that, so recruitment. So that's my interest.
Okay, thank you.
And
Okay,
Tanush, you said, like, I'm sorry,
yes,
sorry to stop you.
no problem,
Uh,
no problem. It's good.
yeah. So you said like your expertise are recruitment, LMS, and what else?
Onboarding 1.0.
Oh, onboarding and LMS also, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And are you covering all these three modules in these sessions, or
No,
only
no,
the
no.
one, only the
That's the reason I only recruitment part because each module is a different and we need to have at least 30, 35 days for each module only.
Oh, okay. So it's take three months. Okay. So this all three modules is inter connected with the all three modules, right?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
You can it's up to you how you want to integrate. Like it can be hybrid, it can be full cloud, depends upon what customer wants. So depends, some clients will
It's
have
based
only
on,
RCM
yeah.
and yeah, some clients will have only RCM and onboarding but no EC. Some will have a EC plus RCM plus onboarding, so all depends upon client. So the beauty of SF is it can be also hybrid or full cloud or core cloud, depends upon customer.
Yes. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Imran.
Mhm.
You, so basically, to cover that point again, so basically, what usual organizations will do that first they will go with Employee Central and then they start with other modules one by one. But there are some organizations where they started with recruitment and then they later on they found interest to expand into success factors. Then they've moved it to Employee Central. So it's basically whole. It depends on what current system they are using in the organization, if it is a workday or if it is any PeopleSoft or Oracle or Talio. So the challenges, based on the challenges that they are facing in the current system, they start migrating to cloud. Maybe it can be SAP on premise as well. So SAP gives us kind of a seamless where you can cover any module without interlinking with other module. So it can be learning only, it can be recruitment only, it can be onboarding only. But SAP has given an options to send our data from our system to any other system, and also we have option to get the data from other systems to SuccessFactors system. We call it as APIs. Basically these are the URLs where we can fetch the data using, let's say for example, a basic one is like Postman. You might heard of integrations like CPA and all, right? where we can get the data, we can send it to our third-party systems or SAP on-premise, do activities with success factors. Once it is done, again we can send it back to other systems. So that's the reason most of the people, most of the organizations are now showing interest into success factors. And even success factors has also come up now with AI integrated services, artificial integrated services. In terms of success factors recruitment itself, we have now AI enabled options where we can purchase the license, and AI will suggest us the descriptions, the data that we put into a candidate. What is the candidate interests? It will search all the candidate profiles and it will give us the suggestions what kind of keywords we could put in descriptions to attract the candidates. So those kind of options also we are now available with 1H 2024. So while talking about the releases, success factors has 2 releases every year. That will be under May, and then one more will be on the November. It can be slightly different between dates. They will release their plan before itself. So now we are into 1H 2024 and it's into preview systems already, like test systems already. And May 17th, they are pushing it to production systems. So every release, they will give us the features like 3 options. One is a universal push where we cannot control it. By default, all the systems will be accomplished with that particular enhancement or a feature. Second one is admin opt-in, where we can configure if we have interest. If our organization is showing interest saying that, yes, we need this feature, then we can configure it. And the third one is provisioning opt-in, where we can enable it from the provisioning side and do some configuration in the front end. So all the 3 options will be there in the releases. For currently, recruitment has 36 release features in 1H 2024, including AI options as well. So the next one, in terms of what we have from success factors, like we have the BizX instance, it's called fronted.
So,
And
sorry,
yes,
sorry, Tanu, to interrupt you. So, when you say universal, so let's say we have non production instance. So, when you say universal, does it mean that SAP will do automatically in that non production T1 instance automatically,
yes,
or we have to press some button from upgrade system from
no,
upgrade?
nothing like that. So basically, we have 2 systems like test and production.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
So what they will do is that first they push the test system with the release
mm,
5 weeks before to production.
mm. Okay,
So 5 weeks is the our lead time to test it out. What affected our system, what configurations affected, what processes affected, what UA has been affected. We will have 5 weeks to test it out. So if that comes under universal, then we need to align with SAP information and inform all our users saying that, boss, this is the universal push from production so and so date. This will be automatically applied to our organization. So that's the reason this will be 5 weeks before in all test systems. They call it as preview systems. And after 5 weeks, they will give push to production systems. So nothing is under our control. Everything will be happening on a Friday night in both the systems. They will give us a date when this will happen. And during this release time, any system that comes under this data centers will be down for 8 hours. So all the features they will push, including universal, admin opt-in, and provisioning opt-ins. And once it is released, it's up to us what you want to configure, what you want to change the process. And if it is affecting your organization, you have to inform all the people. So that's the reason we have this 5 weeks lead time.
okay. Thank you.
So production release as well. So once production release, they will give us a time, and during that 8 hours, again production system will be down, and we can see once the production system is up, we can see all the release features. And usually, some organizations do pre-release testing, post-release testing as well to align whether it is affecting any of our processes. For example, let's say recruitment. we will start with creating the requisition. Requisition is the form, and then completing the new hire process. All the things we will perform pre and post release as well, so that we to make sure that release has not affected us. And some organizations, what they will do is that they will remove 1 week, and for 4 weeks they will involve a lot of people from their organization, like business process handling people, like recruiters or hiring managers. They will involve them, and they will ask them to test it out in the test systems, so that there is no shocking news or something like that too once it is affected to production. So that's the reason we have all these options.
Yep. Thank you.
So basically
But
again here,
but
yes,
having more preview instance means more testing and more time, then, isn't it? Some kind will have a dev, quality, pre-production, then production. So
yes, that's my
so
next point. So any system will come under these two categories only. You call it any name, you call it stage, dev, test, preview, you call it any name, but SAP will only consider these two. So data center preview, data center production. So they will push the release based on their backend connection. You call it any name, it will be coming under DC preview or DC production. If you have 5 systems of DC preview, all 5 will be affecting at once. If you have DC productions, 2 systems, like let's say some people call it one go live system and second stage system, similar to go live. So these two will get affected once, and all other file will get affected at once. So that's the reason. It's up to you which system you want to pick and test. Some organizations only keep one system for release testing only. Some organizations will keep change request system, like any CRs that you want to implement. First, you need to do it this in this DC preview system, then move it to production. So it's up to them how they build their landscape. But SAP side, only 2 options. So that's the reason. This BizX instance is the front end instance where end users like recruiters or hiring managers will access the system, will perform the actions and everything. And provisioning system is the back end system where it will be provided only to the certified consultants. So you need to get an approval from your business head, from your client, and your certification, and you need to upload it in the HXM Cloud Operations portal. Then you will get the provisioning access, and provisioning access will not be provided to any client person. It should be from a third party support person only. So next is SAP for me. If you face any issues with the system, it can be a bug or it is not working as expected. It used to work, now it is not working. Then you can raise a ticket with SAP to investigate, and the option is SAP for me. In this website, you can log in with your client credentials of SUser ID, and you can raise a ticket with the details, and they will investigate for that issue, and they will come back with a solution, or they will say that it's an expected behavior, or sometimes they will suggest what can be changed in the configuration to resolve that issue. And community portal where we can talk with each other, like for example, if you post a question, people like me can answer. Someone posts it, you can answer. So it's kind of a blocks where you can post a question, people will answer, and even SAP has put in some experts from their team to answer some questions. So anything that you feel like impacting your system, but you're not sure for the new implementations or for new CRs, someone will say that, okay, deactivate this thing from our system. You need to have an impact analysis, right? If we deactivate, where it is affecting. In those scenarios, you cannot go to SAP saying that we are deactivating it, give us impact analysis. They will not give. They will only look at the technical issues. So in those cases, we can post in community, and people who already done that, or people who are already aware of that configuration, they will suggest you, okay, these areas you need to test. These are the steps you need to perform. All these things they will suggest.
So one
Yes,
quick
Simran.
question: what about the jam? We also have a jam from Learning Hub. So since
Jam
I
is
have a yeah.
Mhm. Jam is kind of an internal tool within SuccessFactors, right? You will not have options from SAP community people. If you
Sometimes
want to
I s-
integrate,
yeah
Mhm.
yeah. Sometimes when I go to Learning Hub, so I see lots of jams there, lots of threads will be there asking the questions in the Learning Hub itself.
See, that's also one more option. We have learning groups,
Hmm.
jams, communities,
Hmm.
and even in SAP for me also we have expert peer, where
Yeah.
you can expert chat with a peer like us. So different options. But Jam
Okay.
is more if you are using SAP Learning Hub Jam. So
Hmm.
SAP people will be there, but Jam can be implemented for our organization as well,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
internal
Yeah. Yeah.
organization. In those
Internet. Yeah. Yeah.
cases, they are not experts.
Yeah. 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 That's just a just for company
That's the
to
difference.
talk to each
Yeah.
other. Yeah. Yeah.
Usually, what I suggest is that if you have a tight timeline, I suggest keeping it in all the portals so that you will get a response immediately. And then help.sap, where you can download implementation guide, you can download release features, you can download integration documents, you can download integration documents as well here, admin documents, or we can say it as PTO documents, project team orientation documents, where if you want to present it to a client, you can download it from help.sap and you can present it. And the main important thing is that learning hub and certification hub. In order for you to complete an exam, you need to have a certification hub. And in order to maintain your certifications to active, every 1 year you need to write a delta based on the release questions. And once you complete the learning hub delta assessments, then your certification will be activated for the next year. Earlier, it used to be every 6 months, but recently, 3 days back, 1 week back, SAP has sent a mass communication to everyone saying that they are moving from 6 months Delta assessment to 1 year Delta assessment. Now, if we write an exam, that will be valid for next 1 year from your date of completion of exam. So until then, you can request for provisioning. And if you want to activate it, you want to renew it, then you need to write a Delta exam. So both are costly. Certification Hub costs around 50,000 INR and Learning Hub costs around 1.5 lakhs INR per year. So if you really think that if you need to have a certification very importantly, then I suggest writing them. If you think that you may need in future, it's better to wait and write in future only. And Acclaim is the certification portal, like badge portal, where you can download the certification PDF. You can view when is the last date for your certification renewal. And if you want to have a logo to put in your resume or CVs, then you can download it from the Acclaim. And partner edge is the one only given for partner S user IDs, where you can download latest workbooks. Every release, SAP will update their workbooks. Basically, a workbook is the place where we collect the requirement from a client. So if it is an RCM, we have a recruitment management workbook, where this workbook will be useful to present it to a client saying that these are the different options, and we can ask the client to give an information what they want, what labels they want, what they want to enable, what they don't want to enable, who need a permission to view, who need a permission to update something. All these things we can collect here. If you look at the workbook sample, so every field, every data that you want to have a check, you can define it to different people, and they will fill this requirement document, or you can sit with them and fill this requirement document and then start configuration using the workbook only. So we will cover what needs to be done in the workbook in our training sessions, and we will also discuss what are the different options, what are the different options, what are the different levels we have, what are the different areas we have, what are the standard options that SAP is giving us. All the things will be there in the workbook. So if you are starting with an implementation or if you want to implement something, I always suggest downloading fresh document from the partner support, partner edge SAP.
Couple of questions, very good topic, partner age. So since I'm a contractor, yeah, and
Mhm.
I will be, I have everything, I have a learning hub, everything, but my ID is P, personal, not S user ID. And I think the partner age is only given to the partners, service
Partners.
provider
Yeah.
like Capgemini, IBM, Infosys,
Correct.
Wipro, not to me, right? So
Yes.
as a contractor, how to get this latest workbook? That's the first question.
That's a tough question because SAP will not give access to personal as user IDs at all.
Mm, mm.
Either we may need to reach out to the people who has it or post it in the community. Some people will help saying that boss, I recently downloaded, you can use it.
A second question, that workbook is a kind of a template which says that okay, configure XYZ step by step, all the processes like template about everything about RCM. So this is SAP substandard defined blueprint, you can say, right?
Yes,
Workbook.
yes. Mm.
Okay, 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 I got it. So that if that then if we understand the RCM, the things are very pretty straightforward. It will not take much than 6 or 8 months then, isn't it, to configure RCM? If everything is
See, okay.
predefined in this template.
Okay. So I want to cover later, but we can talk now. So we have different deployment types.
Rapid, yeah.
So rapid, they call it as customized. So different people has different options, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if you want to go with a rapid deployment, all the standard features
Mm-hmm.
we will enable it. That can be
Mm-hmm.
enabled within 2 to 3 months itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if you have integrations, if you have data that needs to be migrated, then that's the challenge that starts. If it is a
Okay.
data migration from your old system to this success factor
Mm-hmm.
system, it will take a lot of time. So
Yeah, yeah.
again, 5 to 6 months of the timelines. But if you
Mm-hmm.
go with SAP implementation,
Mm-hmm.
they they will come up with an options of rapid, standard, customized.
So in your experience, so how so you always use workbooks as your Bible?
Yes,
Okay.
because we will perform iterations, right? Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, we will discuss with the client, they will come up with some changes, some requirements, we will configure it. Again they will come back and say that no, we want additional features, then we will go to iteration 2.
Mm-hmm.
Again they will go to iteration 3. All the
Till.
three times you need to understand impact of existing iterations as well. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that you can again do it from blank, right? Only
Mm-hmm.
you will develop from your iterations, you will not do scratch implementation again. So that's
Yeah.
the reason, always fill the workbook, keep it up to date and ask the client to sign off it. Then this will be a proof document for us to give. That's kind of a solution description document, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
whatever the solution we are giving the client, that should be there in
Double
some areas,
documented.
double
Yeah,
check.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the reason SAP has come up saying that any implementation person always use workbooks, because even see, all the standard fields that can be applicable to different areas, they have already given in one Excel sheet. And if you download this in the next release, they might
Mm-hmm.
update this one. But if you want to check whether this is working or not in your system, you need to configure a lot of things and then test it out. So that's the reason it's better to take a latest workbook.
And just I don't want to confuse more for others. So sometimes what happens is in success factor we have a tool where we can synchronize like a kind of a transport from
Right.
preview 1 to preview 2. So suppose if that is not there, so does it mean that we have to configure this workbook separately in each instances till production?
No, no, no. No. Workbook will be same for your entire. Workbook is more connected to your organization's requirement, right? Not based on a
Okay, okay.
system.
So workbook is a kind of a
So
template, but we're not doing any configuration as such. Just gathering the
no,
requirement, putting
yeah,
in the
Gathering the
spreadsheet.
requirement, but you will configure based on this one only, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
let's say, for example, we have a standard ID called status, but they
Mm,
don't want to label it as status. They want to keep it some other label.
mm,
That label should reflect in all the systems. It's not with only production.
mm.
So
The- My question is, suppose I have configured based on this template. Template got the sign off, everything is fine. So status remain status. Now I have configured in preview instance. Everything working
mhm,
fine, tested, cycle
mhm,
one passed. Suppose
mhm,
cycle one is they want to go into production now. But
mhm.
in production, there are two things I can do. I can transport. What tool is that? I think synchronization, right?
Instance
From
synchronization tool.
Yeah, from where I can move from preview to production. That's the step number one. Step number two, if they don't using that instance synchronization instances, then I need to
Mm.
reconfigure again in production from the scratch, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Because I've seen some client use, some client doesn't use.
The other problem with instance synchronization is that
Mm.
lot of recruiting module options are not there in instance synchronization. Lot
Okay, okay.
95% of the configuration we don't have in instance synchronization.
So if I understood you correctly, that means suppose if you have two instances, preview and production, that means we will do two times in
Yes,
the configurations.
yes.
Okay, good.
Not only
Thank you.
implementation, any change request that you perform during the support time
Yeah,
or post
yeah, yeah,
implementation, you
yeah.
need to do it again in production
Okay,
and
okay.
in
Yeah,
other test
yeah,
systems.
yeah. So
But
more than instance, yeah, yeah.
nowadays, SAP has given options to customers. They have gold, silver, bronze, and all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So depends on your contract with the SAP.
Okay, okay, okay.
They can use the refresh tool. Instance
Yeah.
refresh they can perform. So if you are okay with the test system configuration, no need to do it in production again. You can request
Okay.
an instance refresh for the implementation time only. I'm talking about, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
talking about support environment. For the first time
Uh-huh.
implementation,
Mm-hmm.
usually we create a ticket and within 2 days they will copy entire configuration and data into production system.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
So
Good.
that's one more better approach rather than configuration. It's a
Exactly.
one-time fee or one-time option for the organizations to opt in.
Mhm. But you said that instant refresh doesn't work correctly for RCM. Then how SCP does what SCP tool they use that for them it's work for us
They
it
have
doesn't
their
work.
they have these database access and all, right. What we know from our side is that they will copy the entire configuration files from your one data center
Okay,
to,
okay,
and
okay, okay,
then they will
okay,
place into the data center.
okay.
It's a folder
So
to folder copy basically.
yeah, let's say kind of a data set, but they have a higher access at that uh,
Yes,
data
they
set,
have access to database and all, right. So,
and they will tick all the boxes and just move everything, all the data.
yes,
Mhm,
yes.
mhm, mhm.
They will do it in
Good.
6 hours basically.
Ah.
For us, it will take 300 or 400 hours. They do it in 6 hours for instance refresh.
Mhm, mhm. And what we call those people for you must be knowing who does that activity in SAP. Is it RCM consultant or is it some technical person or is just a
No,
L2 kind of job?
it's a kind of L2 kind of a job where they have a specific set of people for instance refresh. Whenever you raise a ticket in SAP for me, we have a separate category called instance refresh. So all the
Mm-hmm.
instance refresh tickets will go to them and they will perform the actions and they will give us a date. So and so date we will perform your instance refresh.
Mm-hmm.
Based on their timeline they will give us, or if we want on a particular date, 10 days lead time is the minimum time. We need to inform them 10 days before that
Mm-hmm.
we want to have it on 26th. You need to inform them on 16th. Minimum lead days.
Okay, okay.
If you're a gold partner, that depends again. They'll do it till 3 days or 4 days also.
Understood.
It's all about serving the customer, right? So
Mm-hmm. What is PTO? I forgot. PTO means
project team orientation document where
document. Yeah,
each and every feature will be there with a small overview where you can present it to the client.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Business process kind of things, right? Yeah.
Business process, yes. Okay, moving on. So it just a quick update on what we have and what we depend on recruitment. We have different types of template. We have 5 templates. One is a requisition template where we gather the requirement for any job, and second, offer template where we provide it to the candidate saying that this is your offer. Application template is more specific to collecting the candidates questions based on our job. If it is in us type of questions, we will ask in the application template. If it is an Indian job, then we will ask more about Indian questions. Like if you have a valid visa, you can work in India, you have a driving license, you want to relocate. Based on job specific information, we will ask the candidate in the application template. Profile template will be only one in the system that we will collect from the candidate: education, experience, certificates, licenses, address, dependent details, because that will not change job to job. That will be same for each candidate. That's the reason profile template we have it. And based on our configurations, based on our requirement, if we want to send the data from RCM to EC, we have integration. If we want to send from RCM to onboarding to EC, we have integration templates. And if we want to send it to a third party, we can do within SF using reports. If you have third party CPI or Boomi integrations tools, you can use it CPI or Boomi integration tools as well. So that's the reason we are dependent on this. And if you talk about templates, in EC we call data models, in requisition in RCM we call it as templates. Configuration is based on XML language. We will also cover in our training session how to configure an XML, what fields, what type of options we have in the XML. We will discuss in detail. Most of the 20% of the training session I'll cover on XML templates and also front-end templates, because these are the main areas which will
Yeah.
impact the systems, which will have implementation experience based on our requisition template creations only. So that's the reason we focus more on each and every field. What type of field, what are the different options we can configure for a field.
Can you just go back to the screen once again about templates? It was a
Okay.
bit fast for me. So when you say offer template, I have seen one
Mhm.
of the customer, they got some 102 templates for every position. The template differs: technician,
Mhm.
electrician, mechanical engineer. For everyone they have a different template. But I remember back of my mind, someone within, I was just part of that. So someone when they went to SAP said that there's some restriction, they cannot have X number of template. There's some restriction that you can have only X number of templates, you cannot have 100 200 kind of template. Is it true?
In my 12 years experience, this is the first client I'm hearing that you have 1 or 2 templates per offer.
Okay.
So the more number of templates, the complication of the system will increase, because offer template will get the data from requisition, application, and profile templates. So if you increase the template level, even the loading of the system, performance of the system, and getting the data into these offer templates will take time. And this
Hmm.
is not an SAP recommended solution as well.
So,
See,
so when you so if I understand, recruitment template means I have a position. So I'm a recruiter. So I'm filling the form. Like is a
mhm,
position of
mhm,
technician, which company code, which division, which department, all those things, right? That's a recruitment template.
mhm.
Offer template means once offer has been offered to me, like welcome kind of a email, right? That's offer template.
See, offer is kind of, if we talk about template level, we have offer template, but in terms of the process level, we have 2 types of offers. One is an offer approval and one is an offer letter. Offer approval is the place where the recruiter will gather all the information that needs to be offered for a candidate, and he will take the offer approval.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
once the offer approval is complete, then we will
Yeah.
release the offer letter. It's a PDF or like a
And
text document.
yeah. And what is the application template means? I didn't
job
catch you.
specific job specific questions will be covered in application template.
Kind of
Let's
our
say for example,
JD, uh, JD,
ah
right? I mean,
JD,
JD is
yes.
yeah.
So basically, if you are saying that technician, right?
Mm,
Technician should be working
mm.
rotational shifts.
mm,
you can ask that question in application level whether you are
mm,
interested for rotational
mm,
shifts for technician, but same
mm,
question you cannot ask for a managing director or someone, right?
mm, mm,
So
mm,
that's the reason application template is divided based on your position basically. Position
mm,
again connects to requisition. So that's
mm,
the reason it's more aligned to the requisition. Each job requisition will change. So that's
mm,
the reason job specific information
mm,
we will collect in the
mm,
application template.
mm, mm. And profile is just the first name, last name, all the details like that, right?
First,
Profile.
your personal information basically.
Okay. And integration template means what again? You are saying?
You want to send the data from RCM to Employee Central, you need
Ah,
an
okay, okay,
integration template. You want to
okay.
send
RCM.
it from RCM to onboarding, you need an integration template.
So RCM to EC is possible after okay. There's no need from EC to RCM because it doesn't make sense, right? So RCM to EC,
EC to
yeah,
RCM
yeah,
is from position to requisition.
yeah.
So same thing.
Okay, but I mean, just to not to take you much time, but the position will start from EC, isn't it? The position creation will
Position
start
will
from
start
EC.
from EC. Hmm. But
Okay,
we don't need a separate template from position to requisition. We have a different setting for that. We have a business rule where we can write it. No need of template mapping.
yeah.
Position
So
to requisition.
so position will be created in EC,
Hmm.
and that will transfer to RCM, right?
Yes. So let me. So position we will create in Employee Central. Okay. Then
Mm-hmm.
the position will go for approval in Employee Central only.
Mm-hmm.
Once the position is active, we create the requisition. From third
Yes.
point, we start with the RCM process.
Yes. Yes. Good. 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 Understood.
From third to 14, we will
Yeah.
process the candidate in RCM only. And from
Until
15, we leave it to
onboarding.
onboarding or Employee Central.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the
So
reason
so
we
when
have
when you
different
say
options here.
so
Mhm.
after 15, I can understand is a onboarding. In the onboarding, you will do onboarding. From onboarding again, he'll come to EC to get the burner to get the employee ID.
Mm. Employee.
But you said it can be onboarding, it can be EC. So if we skip onboarding, so
Mm.
directly this so if there is no onboarding, still we can hire an employee using EC. You are saying
Yes.
okay because you say onboarding or EC or E-
See, RCM to EC directly or
yeah
RCM to onboarding and then to EC.
yeah. That's a second is good.
It depends on the organization, right? If they want to use
Yeah.
onboarding, yeah, then no.
Mhm, mhm. Because
So these the
uh,
Mhm.
there must be some benefits of onboarding, like a pre-hire check. Something will be there in onboarding which helps better recruitment process, isn't it?
It depends on all the it's
Company to company. Yeah.
attrition level, right? If they don't have that much iteration, it's not feasible to configure an onboarding module
Mhm,
because costing will be high. Every module
mhm,
that you implement, SAP
mhm,
will charge you monthly
mhm,
basis.
mhm.
So
Monthly plus
costing will
number.
increase.
I think monthly plus number of users you are using as well, right? How many employees you
That is
have?
Employee Central. That is Employee Central.
Oh, that is
RCM and
employees.
onboarding are monthly basis, no
Okay,
candidate count
okay,
or employee count. But
okay,
again,
okay.
there is a storage count again because we save the
Mhm,
documents, right? So storage
mhm,
count is there.
mhm. I mean, when I have a one silly question every time about DC.
Mhm.
Let's say I'm sitting in UK and DC is in Amsterdam. Okay,
Okay.
what happens if it hacks by someone in Amsterdam? I mean, why they have a DC in different countries? Why not in the home country?
No, it depends on your organization's base country. If you are from UK, your home like main organization is registered under UK, they have different data centers in UK, they will allot one
Mm,
of them
mm.
because UK has GDPR, right? So
Yeah,
data cannot be accessed from other data
yeah,
centers.
yeah. Good.
So that's the reason they will allot only from your UK region. If it is in India, we have
Mm,
systems in US, UK,
uh, uh,
Australia,
uh,
lot of areas.
uh,
It depends on the
uh.
organization request. But basically, when it comes to hacking, SEO has a lot of options they have built across to avoid hacking. In the last 15 years, there is no single
Oh,
time the
great.
hacking was done on success factors.
So does
And
SAP got
even
yeah, yeah, go
yeah,
on.
even if let's assume there are in future they get it, they have
Mhm.
backup servers as well
Yeah.
across all the data centers again.
So
So
does SAP
every
has
1 hour, mhm, every
does
one
S,
hour your production will have a backup in other data center
yeah, 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 as a plan B.
as a plan B. Correct.
So, sir, just one question. Does SAP has their DC in UK for SF?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Which,
You have a
which place?
long list that difficult to remember, but I can give you
Yeah,
in the next class.
yeah, okay.
That's a long
And
list of data centers now.
in UK itself.
No, all countries I'm talking about. Earlier, it used to be
Yeah,
only
yeah,
two. Now they
yeah,
have increased it a lot.
yeah.
Now they have also
Even in
acquired
Gulf,
Google.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Google servers as well. Now they are with Google servers, so they have the data centers connected with Google as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Recently, they migrated from their own data centers to Google servers as well.
Mm,
GCPs, Google Cloud Platform Servers.
good. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, no problem. So, as mentioned, job requisition, it's the place where we collect the position information, what needs to be available for a candidate, like for example job description, roles and responsibilities, if the candidate joins, what is the location, who is the hiring manager, which department he belongs to, which cost center he belongs to, who will be the recruiter, everything we configure, we collect the information in the job requisition only. So for recruitment, job requisition is like a heart. Everything will be collected in job requisition. From job requisition we send it to different areas again. So we have postings again. Once the job requisition is ready, we can post internally using intranet posting. We can post externally using our external career sites. We can do confidential hiring also for private posting. These postings will not be available on Google or something. They will generate a link and you can copy that link and give it to that candidate only, and only that candidate will be able to apply. Whoever has the link, they will be able to apply. If you want to increase your hiring process to a next level, we have job board posting where eQuest is no longer available, but earlier it's eQuest, now it's recruiting posting where you can post the jobs to universities, schools, colleges, job boards like Naukri, LinkedIn, based on that country. Like for example, Dice, Monster, based on each country, we can configure for recruitment posting. And agencies like third party agencies, if they are hiring for you, then we can also configure them. They have a separate portal to log in and apply, send the candidate resumes to our system. So out of these, job postings and agency listings are inbuilt free with success factors, but job board posting with recruiting posting is cost. Again, you need to purchase the license from SAP, and for each job board also you need to purchase the licenses from that job board. They will give some IDs that we need to configure, then our success factor system will connect with that job boards. So in the event of time, these are all what we will cover in the our sessions. So this is a basic all the course content that we will cover. We will talk about the XML templates. We will talk about loading the templates. We will talk about what are the different people like hiring manager, recruiter, finance, HR manager, HRBPs. We will talk about the template configurations from front end and back end. Front end is BizX managed templates and the back end is XML templates. We will configure that and we will discuss that. And talent pipelines, like what are the different statuses that once candidate applies, recruiter will move. We will configure. We will also discuss what are the different steps, what are the status we have. We will also discuss offer. We will also discuss RCA integrations, new hire processing, how you convert the candidate into an employee, and what are the different options, like different options we have in recruitment to connect with our system with interview scheduling, interview central, ratings, competencies. We can get the data. We have the email options. We have reports to generate the data. We have options that we have in provisioning, enable it, download or disable the options. We will all discuss the course content during the sessions, and we will also discuss the workbooks. And most of the time I will only discuss in the system or in the XML. I will not say that uh, using a recording or using a video I will not explain anything. Everything we cover in the system and in the backend or in the XML template only, where I will show you how to add, how to update it, and what are the different options to discuss, and what are the different options to enable a particular feature in the organization. So these are all will be covered. We will also provide you the access to our server, our demo system, where you can practice during the sessions. So it will be 30 to 35 hours of session. We are planning for everyday activity, every day 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So sometimes maybe because of some family things or some office or priorities, we might skip one day and keep it, but most of the time it will be every day only. And the tool will be using GoToMeeting. And if you have any questions, you can stop and ask. And if you want to practice, you can use the demo session, like whatever you want. You can practice any module, you can do it. Yes, Imran.
Can you hear me? So,
Yes, now I can hear.
couple of questions. So,
Mhm,
as you know, we all are working. Even I am working. It's half past.
mhm,
It's 5:30 now,
mhm,
and it's too difficult to give time, which we all know. So, suppose I do have my own sales demo. I can practice on it.
mhm.
What happens because is everyday lectures are there. So, suppose if I don't do some exercise or you give some assessment and I'm unable to do it, and suppose this course is finished after 35 hours, so but my configuration is not finished because I'm doing first time. So
Mhm.
first time end-to-end implementation, which is a sales demo, is not possible in 35 days. So I will do my practicing side by side. If after this training, if I get some queries and questions, will you able to help us?
You can mail us if it is a normal question not specific to that system. Yes, definitely we will help you. But if you say that it's not working in your system, until unless we see that system, will not be able to help. If it is a generic questions or generic doubts, or if you want to have one option, one feature you want to enable and you are stuck in somewhere, that we can help it, but not based on your system. That's what I want to say.
Because I won't be able to complete a workbook within 35 hours, right? I may stuck somewhere, definitely.
See, basically, even we to discuss each and every point in the entire workbook will itself take a lot of time. So,
Mm,
main points that are needed for implementation we will discuss, not each and everything that we have in the entire pages,
mm.
right? If you see the workbook, see.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. My point of view is, uh, what I want after this training, I should be able to pass the interview. I should know technically where to configure, how to
Yes, that will be there.
um,
Yes.
configure. Because I'm from SAP HR background, so process-wise, I know the process very well. I should be expertise in such a way when I go to interview, I should be able to answer my all the questions what they're asking to me,
Yes, that you can do definitely.
and that will come only with my practice on the system. I do understand that it doesn't come
Yes.
overnight. And I understand that it's not like I'm just bothering you every day and night and asking you some silly questions. I won't do that.
See, the problem is that demo systems will work in one areas, will not work in other areas.
Mhm.
If it is our demo system, mostly we test it and we keep it ready. If your organization's demo, that we cannot guarantee those configurations, right? Someone might have left in the middle, someone might have deleted some configuration. So that's the problem. So if you are able to replicate the same issue in the demo system that we are provided, then I can log in and check it out, right, where the issue is and what can be done to resolve that issue. That can be done.
Okay. Okay. And you also said you also know LMS, right?
Yes.
But but will you able to provide LMS server access as well for practicing?
Currently, we are procuring it. Maybe in a week, we will be able to provide. That will be an extra cost because server access now is removed, right? We
Mm,
need to pay licenses every month.
is a apply to tool. Yeah, I understand.
Not only
Okay.
PATU, SAP has
Mm,
removed demo access for everyone. In the next 2 weeks, you will get an email saying that all your demos has been deleted. If your organization is not a gold partner or something like that, because we already got it. So the demo that we are using, we are now paying for a monthly basis for each user.
okay. Okay.
SAP is removing the demo allocation to most of the organizations. And they are saying that 80 to 90% organizations will not have demo access.
Why so?
They want to decrease the server cost or something like that.
But how people will practice and how we can sell SAP in the market if we cannot practice it? Then again, they have a technology but no expertise.
That depends on your organization, right? If your organization is ready to pay that bucks, some 18, 19 dollars per month for each user, something like that is there. If you
Hmm.
are pay, if their organization is paying it, then they will give you. It's a paid version they will give you. It's not free version they will not give you.
Okay.
Tanush, a quick question. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just had a slight confusion. Like a P user ID is something that we receive after we complete the certification, and S
Yes.
user ID is something that our partner maps our P user ID and gives us, right?
So we have three types: personal S user ID,
Okay,
Which
partner
which
S
I ha-
user ID,
which I have.
customer S user ID. So personal as user ID, where you register yourself in SAP website, you get yourself certification completion, then they will allow you personal as user ID and only will be used for training.sap.com. Apart from it, you cannot use personal as user ID anywhere.
okay,
Partner as user ID are for people who are implementation partners like Cognizant, Deloitte. They implement for one organization, right? Those are
yes,
partner S user IDs. So once you join the organization, they will give you their own S user ID that will give you access as a partner of SAP, and you can access communities, all those things, partner edge and all.
okay,
Customer S user ID is connected to your system, organization system, where you can create the tickets, and in some cases they will have access to community, and in some cases they will not have access to community. That depends again with the license of your organization with SAP.
okay.
So these are the different as user IDs based on your organization or based on your personal thing. It will have access. But in order
Oh,
to request a provisioning access, partner as user ID is needed.
oh, so that is what is called P user ID, right? If
P user ID. Some people have P
okay,
user ID. Some partners also give S user ID. For example, my organization is a partner, but they don't have P IDs. They give S user ID, but it's connected to a partner. Once you log in into your profile, that it will show as partner. If you log in here,
okay,
it will show as customer. If you log in with this, it will show as personal.
okay, okay,
So Tanush, so in my case as a contractor, I won't be having a
Mhm.
S user ID in either of the case. So in that case, suppose if we have a customer,
Mhm.
customer won't be having the provision access, right? Only partner edge
Customer
will
one.
have a
Mhm.
so if custom so I am a contractor, I'm a contracting to direct to the customer.
Mhm.
So in that case, how I will get
They
the
can
provision
give you
access?
this. They can
Okay,
give you this
okay. So
because
customer
you
will
are
say,
not a direct employee.
yeah.
You are a partner. Basically, you are a support consultant
Mm.
supporting your partner. So they can
Mm.
give this partner as user ID to you.
But partner has to be some company like a Cognizant XYZ, right? So
Uh,
customer has to tell the partner that please create as user partner as user ID for Imran, isn't it?
See, basically, SAP will check your email ID. Okay.
Mm.
If the organization
Domain,
account
yeah.
is connected with domain is connected with let's say for example at the rate abc.com,
Mm-hmm.
and you go and request with at the rate abc.com, then you are a customer, you are not a partner. But
Mm,
if you go and request with at the rate xyz.com, that means you are
mm,
not part of abc, you are at xyz, so you are an
mm,
outside. They will give you this.
mm, okay. Let's see how it works. Someone people told me that as a contractor, you cannot work in implementation.
That depends on your organization again, because you're a contractor and you will not be there in the organization for more than 2 weeks, right? Your notice
Mhm.
period is 2 weeks, correct?
Let's
And
say
then
for 6 months till
six.
so yeah. Suppose I'm a contractor. I got a
No,
contract
no,
to
no.
implement
Contract is different and notice period is different. Contract, they have ID you for 6 months, but
Mm.
if you want to leave the organization, or if they want to send,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
2 weeks,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
if you
yeah.
are an implementation, if you are implementing and you are leaving in 2 weeks, what will happen?
Mm, mm.
So that depends on your organization. It does not connect to SAP at all. It depends on your organization.
Organization means customer or service partner.
Customer,
Customer.
customer,
So customer
because
can do
they
customer
can
can do
reach out.
any, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They
go
can
on.
reach out to SAP Success Manager will be there.
Mm,
Each organization will have customer success manager from SAP.
mm,
They can
mm,
reach out to them and say that, boss, we have a contractor from a
mm,
third party.
mm,
Due to some lack of resources or due to
mm,
some
mm,
criticality, we are hiring this person and we want to
mm,
have provisioning access for this person, so and so
mm,
thing.
mm,
Then they will
mm.
give you.
Okay, customer depends. Okay, all depends on customer. Okay, got it.
All depends on customer. If the customer want to go with the SAP process, no one can change anything. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
abide by the rules of SAP.
Mm, good.
Okay, I think I've covered all the other things we will cover in the sessions, like what are the options, what are the different levels and everything.
Last
So
question. I
basically,
missed I missed it. What happens sometimes, like coming 6th May, we have a bank holiday in UK. Okay. So so what will happen in that case? Because I won't be because it's a bank holiday, I won't be at home.
let's do one thing. So see, um, we are not sure how many we'll start with from Monday. So
Mm,
every time that you have such cases, inform us in the before call, and we will discuss mutually, saying that okay, we want to continue with the class, or if we don't want to continue with the class on a bank holiday, on a weekend, or a Saturday or a Sunday. It
yeah,
should be win-win situation for everyone, like you,
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Neha, for me, everyone. It should be
yeah.
win-win situation.
Because as a contractor, I hardly get any leaves in 12 months. Only bank
You,
holiday is my holiday.
I understand your case, but if you look at myself, yesterday I worked. My usual shifts are from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. IST.
Mm.
Rare cases I log off at 8 p.m.
Oh my
because
God.
my SMEs will work from US, UK as well. So
Mm,
US people, they log in at 6:30,
mm,
and you
mm,
cannot log off at 8 p.m., right?
mm, 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 mm,
So if there is some critical cases or priority or system is down or something is not working, they'll definitely keep a meeting and ask us to keep in and that meeting. In those cases also, I'll inform you saying that, boss, I'll not be able to take the class today
okay,
because I'm
okay,
stuck
okay.
with it.
Yeah, I
So it's
understand.
a
I fully
win-win
understand.
situation for everyone. That's the reason we say 30 hours, not
Mm,
30 days, 30
mm,
hours. It can be today, day after tomorrow, or today, tomorrow as well. So just
mm,
count it as 30 to 35 hours. Based
mm,
on your questions, based on your understanding, we might increase to 35. In
mm,
some cases, we also did for 40 hours, because there are
mm,
people, even
mm,
explanation, they didn't got a chance. They still ask the questions we shown
mm,
in the system. We reconfigured it some fields. It
mm,
took long time. We are not able to cover all the course content. So it took 40 hours. So it's kind of, at the end of the day, you need to get a knowledge on everything.
mm,
And Again, implementation guide, latest workbooks, latest PTOs, everything we will
What
upload in a shared
what if
folder. We'll give it to you.
what happens in some, you must be having some cases where you have only one trainee. So does you take, or does you abandon it?
If you inform us prior, yes, we will cancel it. If you
No, no.
don't inform
Do,
us,
do you have
then
a
we will
such
continue.
do you have a such do you have a such a scenario where
Yes,
you have
there
only one trainee in your meeting and you are teaching only
we
to
will
one
continue.
trainee? Okay, okay.
If you have not
Even if,
informed us, we will continue because your time waste and that trainee also gets wasted, right? Time waste for them. You need to inform us at least some time before so that we can plan accordingly.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, no
Everyone's
worries.
time is crucial, right?
Yeah, 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 I don't understand. There's no time, and we have everything. I have everything. I have all the resources. I know where to navigate. I have a learning hub, but there's no time for me to learn. Except time, I have everything.
Okay,
Okay.
Neha, you have any questions?
No, Tanush, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll get in touch with you and we will plan accordingly and we will start from Monday.
Yeah.
So we will usually now it's the same time again on Monday from Monday. No
Hmm.
change if you are okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Tanuj, have a nice weekend. Enjoy your day.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking
Thank
to you.
you. You
Take care.
too.
Bye. Bye all. Bye
Nice to
Neha.
meet
Bye
you
Bye.
all
all.
Thank you,
both. Thank
Tanush.
you.
Bye, Imran. Bye.
Bye all.
Bye.